I am a real estate investor, but I am not buying any real estate right now because of what's going on in the economy and the real estate market. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. What's up everybody, I am Jasprit Singh from theminoritymindset.com and welcome to The Minority Mindset. For a good chunk of 2020, our YouTube videos have revolved around the stock market, the economy, a little bit of Bitcoin, and a whole lot of money printing. But one topic that I've been missing a lot is real estate. For those of you who don't know, I am a real estate person. I started investing in real estate when I was in college. I got my real estate salesperson license when I was about 20 years old, and I personally prefer real estate over the stock market. This doesn't mean that I don't invest in the stock market. I mean, I was pretty active in the stock market, especially during this 2020 crash, but I just prefer real estate over the stock market. It's more fun for me. I haven't been talking a bunch about real estate investing because, well, I haven't been doing much in real estate. And I'm not making this video trying to tell you that you shouldn't be investing in real estate right now. I'm just giving you my thoughts of what I'm doing in real estate. We are in a recession, and lots of Americans don't have jobs, and banks are making it more difficult for people to qualify for a mortgage, and yet interest rates are so low, so people are buying homes like crazy, and home prices are defying gravity and going up. That's why I've been doing a lot of just sitting back on the sidelines right now, trying to figure out exactly what's going on before I make another big purchase, because I don't want to just jump in without knowing what's happening. Well, let me clarify what I mean. But before I do that, smash that thumbs up button below, because if you don't, then YouTube's not going to share our future financial education videos with you. It's not that I put a ban on myself where I told myself, okay, Jasprit, you're not buying any real estate in 2020. Is that when I invest in real estate, I look for distressed real estate. I love finding properties that are physically or financially beaten up. Maybe the previous owner or landlord had tenants that had destroyed the property, or maybe there's just a bunch of issues with the property, or maybe the previous investor had way too much debt and now the bank is forcing them to sell this property for way below market value. And all of these situations, this allows someone like me, a real estate investor, to come in and buy a property for way below market value. As a real estate investor, that's what you want. You want to be able to buy real estate at a discount. That way you can come in, fix it up, rent it out, and make a good return on your money. To put some numbers on it, typically I'm looking for a minimum 8% cash on cash return on my money. So for every $1,000 that I invest today, I'm expecting to make $80 a year in passive income from this $1,000 that I invested. So if I invest $1,000 today, I should make $80 this year, $80 the next year, $80 the years after that. If I invest $100,000 today, I should make $8,000 next year, and on and on and on. This $8,000 is after all expenses. So after I pay my property taxes, my insurance, my maintenance, my management fees, and everything else, that $8,000 is how much I expect to see in my bank account every single year if I invest $100,000 in real estate today. And that's assuming that I'm not taking on any debt. This is that passive income or cash flow income, because now once you own the property, you own the asset, and this property, this house, this apartment complex, whatever, will continue to pay you for years into the future, because all you have to do, or your property manager will do for you, is make sure that you have a tenant in this property that's paying you rent. And in case you were wondering, you don't need to have $100,000 in your bank account to start investing in real estate. There are a lot of creative ways that you can invest in real estate, and I'll be talking more about them on our channel. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you do that. The problem that I'm seeing in real estate right now is that property values are really high. So if I take $100,000 and I go and buy a property, I'm not going to get that 8% return that I want unless I'm investing in a high risk area. I'm going to be getting something like a 5, 6, maybe 7% return on my money in a mid-range type of area. The returns that you see are going to vary city to city. The reason I like real estate so much is because I like the idea of investing to create income streams. Every time I buy a new property, I am buying a new income stream. I know that, okay, if I buy that home right there, I can calculate that it's going to pay me $500 of profit every month. And the best part of this is that it is passive. Now, I do want to give this a little disclaimer, because in the beginning, when you're starting off, real estate investing is anything but passive, because there's a pretty big learning curve that you have to go through. I went through it, and every other real estate investor that I know had to go through it. But once you get the hang of it, and once you understand how to do it, and you have the team, meaning the right property managers, then it can be completely passive. This investing for passive income, or these income streams, is different than how most people invest their money, because when most people think of investing $100,000, they think, okay, if I put this $100,000 and invest it in this thing, whether it be the stock market or whatever, they're thinking, how much is my $100,000 going to be worth in 1 year or in 5 years or in 10 years? That appreciation, the growth in your investment value is cool, but it isn't my investment goal. I'm looking for that passive income, those income streams, because I can stack it. I know, okay, I'm going to make $500 from this property here, and another $500 from that property there, and another $2,000 a month from that property there. And if I keep doing this, I can stack my income streams. That way I have an income that I can live off of that's completely passive. I call appreciation, in this case, which would be the growth in real estate prices, the icing on the cake. Because if I invest in real estate and property values double, that's cool, it's icing. And if property values get cut in half, oh well, at least I'm still getting my rent that I wanted, and now I can go out and buy more real estate on sale. Well, right now, property values from what I've seen are too high to give me the returns that I want. Like if a property is profiting $5,000 a year and it costs $50,000 to buy that property, that's a great deal. But if I have to pay $500,000 to buy that property that's paying me $5,000 a year, that's too expensive. The second issue I'm facing is uncertainty in the real estate market. States around the country have put bans on evicting tenants because nobody wants to see a tidal wave of evictions, not even landlords. But not being able to evict tenants is a huge turnoff for me to go out and buy a new property, because if I'm looking at a property and the majority of tenants are not paying, then I have to just sit there and eat that cost for who knows how long. And then once I can, I'd have to pay a huge cost to then clean out the property. There's a pretty good correlation between the way you treat tenants and the way your tenants treat you. I talked about this months ago, but when this whole pandemic was going on, we created a hardship program for our tenants where if our tenant was facing a hardship, we were able to provide them with some rent relief. That way they didn't really have to worry about just racking up late fees and penalties and fines. So we did this to work with our tenants because it was just a crappy situation for everybody. And this program that we created is paying off because almost every single one of our tenants right now is on time paying rent. But not all real estate investors did that. Some real estate investors are racking up penalties, fines, late fees, and rent. That way, the day that they're allowed to file evictions, they're going to file mass evictions to almost every single one of their tenants, and then they're going to file judgments against their tenants. That way, they can sue them for all of their past fees. So now, if I go out and I buy a 20-unit apartment building with only 3 tenants that are paying rent, it is going to be a mission for me to go out and find 17 new qualified tenants in the middle of a recession when lots of Americans don't have jobs. Well, let me rephrase what I mean. I actually love finding deals like this. I love finding a building in a great city that is either run down or doesn't have anybody paying rent, because that means I can come in and find this beat up property and get it on sale at a huge discounted price. And now I have the team that can renovate the property and fix it up and get it fully leased out. And because I got to buy it at a huge discount, I got to save a lot of money. But what I've been seeing recently is you have these real estate investment properties on sale with all these tenants that are not paying rent at full price with no discount for the added risk or work involved to fix the property. And finally, I'm a bit concerned about what might be coming in the real estate market. Our economy is in a very weird place right now because we have dozens of major businesses filing for bankruptcy, and we have tens of millions of Americans living off of unemployment, and yet people are buying homes like normal. Actually, people are buying homes faster than normal. What I'm kind of concerned about and wondering is if the economic pain from a recession is going to come sometime in the future, because we haven't really felt much economic pain from this recession yet. I might just think about it from a high-level perspective. If the free government money goes away and people don't have money to spend, that means businesses are going to make less money, which means businesses might have to lay off more employees, which means more people will not have money to pay their rent or their mortgage, which means the real estate industry could be hurt. If that happens, where we see this trickle effect down to the real estate industry, then property values could tank over the next few years. And this takes years because real estate doesn't move as fast as the stock market, because in the stock market, you have trades happening every second. And the real estate, it could take you 3, 6, 9 months to sell a home depending on where it is and the price you want. Again, I'm not saying that this is gonna happen. I'm saying that this is one of the concerns that I have because our economy doesn't really make much sense right now. This is why I'm being patient, because I want to make sure that I'm finding a good property that meets my investment criteria like I talked about in the beginning of this video. In the meantime, I'm keeping a close eye on what's happening in the finance and business world because every industry relies on real estate. Like every business needs real estate to function and every person needs a place to live. And if you were looking for an easy way to stay on top of what's happening in the top finance and business news, well, that's why we created the free Minority Mindset newsletter, where our team first breaks down the top finance and business news, and then we show you how this news affects your wallet. That way you can be smart with your money. This newsletter is completely free, and you can subscribe to our free finance and business newsletter by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description below. By the way, our financial news emails are separate from our financial education emails. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, share it with one friend. That way we can help spread the word. If you're wondering how you can start investing in real estate even if you don't have a ton of money to invest in real estate, I already made a video on this, and you can watch this video on YouTube by clicking this button right over here. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.